All right, so how's everyone's day going? If you are not, if you are new here, please do me a favor and hit that like button. Please subscribe, and let's go on with this. So this is a Netflix original comedy animation, and it's called Mitchells and the Machines. The plot of it is Katie and her family go on a road trip to Katie's start for her first day at a film school, but it is interrupted when electronics become self-aware and start to rebel. This was suggested by a YouTuber who is a very, very nice person. I've mentioned him before. His name is Old School Nerd, and it was also suggested by his daughter, a very lovely person, Caroline. So this is definitely a new type of story for an animation, and I love it. It's the same. I misunderstood young adult, but it's with this very real movie, young filmmaker ambition starting out. If you know anything about me, I am in love with these type of, usually they're on YouTube. They're these young people starting out and trying to get into the film industry, and they get bigger budgets, and they put out these horror films and these comedies, but it's mostly horror films I've seen, and they are really, really well produced, really well written. Some are written not as wise, that good, but it's very fascinating. And I just ever since I started watching these, became aware of these and started watching them on YouTube, it just came really, really fascinating to me. Went on this journey and this very fascination. So you get a whole lot of Katie's ambitions of becoming a film star, and they kind of make fun and jokes through this around it, and her family. Then you add the end of the world and comedy to it, which I also flat out love. That's my type of thing, and so it's like three things all in one that are really good that I like. This is definitely because of the film type of homemade industry part, I guess you call it industry. And then you add the comedy, which could be good or bad, but in this case it was good for the most part. Some spots, not like little spots, were a little not my type, but it didn't really bother me. But for like 98% of the time, it was really funny. It reminded me of Pixar, and I'm a huge fan of Pixar. Am I a huge fan of Disney in general? Not necessarily. But I definitely love their movies and stuff, of their Pixar, and the ones before, wherever those were. But yeah, it reminds me of Pixar, and specifically the more upgraded versions, ones that are past 10 years. It had standard animation, but with a comic book type of sketch layer over it. And they even would throw 2D cartoon layers mixed in there that are also kind of like comic books, I guess you say, themed to them in a way. And some real world stuff mixed into there, some shots. Not many, but there were some shots in there that they threw in there that had the real shots, and around it had the cartoonish, or the animation. A lot of funny jokes in here, for sure. To name one without spoiling anything other than this, the whole stick of the dad doing something he thought was a good idea, but then it would skip to the aftermath of, was very hilarious. That poor donkey going down the river, it was just hysterical out of all of that part. And there was tons of other stuff and big laugh off your ass type of scenes in here, for sure. They definitely was a spot in there that had the Dawn of the Dead vibes to it and reference. And even a part that, in my opinion, kind of reminded me of the Gremlins. Story was good. It had a good bonding experience between father and daughter. I'm not a father. Would I like to be? Sure. But you know, it's personal reasons. But I'm a very big-hearted, very emotional person to a point. Obviously, I'm not over dramatically emotional, but anymore. But yeah, it's a lot of these things. I love these things that they make you feel, and that's what I love about these kids' animation movies. Whether it be sad of a death, or the dramatic music, or something like this between father and daughter. So it means to me, not in a way that if I were a father, or if I were, or between me and my father, but it definitely hits me still in the heart because I love these stuff. It also had an insight of the problem with us in tech. I also had important family values to it. It did get a little emotional when Katie came to the collusion part of the movie. You'll see what that is. Boy, you know, I honestly am surprised I didn't know about this movie. I seen a trailer for it and I didn't check it out and I passed it because I am sub to Netflix channel on YouTube, but I don't always see everything because I have a whole bunch of stuff of the main of my pages I am sub to. So it just kind of like sometimes stuff doesn't catch my eye and I don't catch it. So unfortunately, but you know, I'm glad I watched this and I'm glad I was suggested this. It was really good. But how enjoyable was it? So here is my rating, and that will tell you. Yeah, I mean, it was a very good suggestion, and I want to thank you, anyone who has subbed, and again, please like the video, please subscribe. I'm at 185 now, so hopefully we can get some more rolling into here. I'm wanting to get to at least 200 by the end of the year, at least. But for all I know, I could get to 300. I don't know. I am just happy that people are actually liking my my reviews and my stuff so much. So much love to all of you, and please stay safe and Skål.